All right, guys. Well, I'm super excited to get this started. As always, I want to honor you for being here and taking the time to plug in. I know that you could be doing a million other things, so we value your time. Thank you so much for making the time tonight. I'm actually going to have Enrique speak in just a moment on this topic of building a team and, using your story to do that and how to go about it. He does an incredible job with that. But before we jump into that, you guys, I just wanted to touch on, a few reminders and then some exciting updates, and I'll pass it over to Enrique. So few reminders. This is the 18th of August already, which is so crazy to me. It's just it's flying by. So keep in mind that the double cab bonuses, you got to take advantage of them this month. Do not leave that. New 7-dose customers $200 bonus on the table. It does expire after this month, so make sure you take advantage of that. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with $200, and I don't know about you, but $200 counts, okay? It is amazing. So, go out and help 7 new people get started on their dose, and you're going to earn that $200 bonus. The other thing to keep in mind is the double retention customer bonus is also expiring this month, meaning when somebody reorders in a second or third month, you're earning a double bonus on that. Again, take advantage of that this month. And then last but not least of those things that we really want to make sure, yes, they're so generous, like Carly mentioned, so generous. We're so fortunate to have these types of things that they give to us. So also, the first time rank up bonuses, you guys, take advantage of them this month, okay? Like, if you're going for it, just go all in now. There's nothing you can do about yesterday, but everything, within your power, you can start today. Take action today. Don't wait for tomorrow to get fired up and excited. Don't wait for the last week of the month or the last few days of the month. I will tell you, and I say it all the time, I'm going to say it again, don't wait until that charged up excitement comes the last part of the month and then you're surprised by your volume, so then you kick it into action. Don't do it. I promise you, it is so much better if you start your intense, excited action now. Okay, all I'm going to tell you, because I cannot say anymore, and I know I do this to you guys a lot, but I am legally not allowed to say a whole lot more, other than there are some exciting things happening towards the end of the month, and I'm going to tell you right now, you want to put yourself in position now, leading up to those times. So get yourself prepared now for something exciting that's coming towards the end of the month. But whatever your goal is, if it's that 7-dose customers, or if it's a rank, or if it's, hey, I want to help somebody new get started on this business, don't wait for the end of the month. Do it now, okay? I promise you, just get it off your shoulders, get it done. You're going to feel accomplished. You're going to feel better. And then just keep on trucking, you guys, okay? Really excited for what is coming towards the end of this month. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say. I don't know how much I want to say. But all I'm going to say is it is something that is going to be an add-on to what we have. It is not a thing to replace one thing or another. It is more of an add-on that's going to blow your socks off, okay? Like, talk about like, whoa, next level intensity of focus, energy, appetite suppression. I probably already just said things I'm not even supposed to tell you, but I'm just telling you right now, it's absolutely next level. Like, am I like experiencing this right now? So know that something like that is coming towards the end of the month. Set yourself up for success starting today, okay? Melanie, set yourself up for success starting today. Do not wait until the end of the month to get excited and get all buck wild. You want to do that now, okay? So guys, the topic tonight that we really want to touch on is how to share your story in a way that helps you to grow a team. Okay. Now, why we're talking about this is I know a lot of you guys are running for Diamond Club. I know that, so many of you have those dreams to, like, maybe you've got the initial dream, and that's, I'd like to create a little bit of extra income to pay for my product. And that's fantastic. Okay. And we can help you to do that. Maybe some of you are here because you're like, well, you know, it'd be great to earn an extra $500 because it would help my family with groceries or bills or debt or, you know, vacation or whatever that may be. Some of y'all are here for bigger life-changing incomes, but no matter where you're at in this, I will tell you that if you stick with this long enough, your dreams are going to expand. Your dreams are going to stretch to levels that you didn't expect if you stay consistent and fired up and around all of these amazing people here who are so encouraging. With that said, you guys, you know, a part of that process, you know, is you may or may not want to grow a team. Okay. There's no pressure for you to go recruit. There's no pressure for you to grow a team. I want to make sure I'm super clear on that right now. You can build a beautiful income by sharing this product and getting customers. Okay. Just so we are crystal clear on that, because I never want anybody to feel pressure to do something they're not wanting to do. Okay. But if you're that somebody who's like, well, I do have this bigger dream over here, or, hey, I do have this bigger goal over here that, you know, I've kind of been pushing aside. Maybe I should dream a little bit bigger. Maybe I should run a little bit harder. Maybe this is the thing that can set my family free, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you decide that this is for you and you go all in like that, it is the thing that will set your family financially free. Living proof of that right here. You all know my story. So with that said, you guys, a part of that process is growing a team. And a lot of times this is a conversation people struggle with because they're like, ugh, how do I talk about this? How do I go about this on social media? I don't know how to do this. So I just a little bit ago asked Enrique, hey, do you want to talk about this? Because you're fantastic at this. And he's like, yeah, I'll hop on. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to, most of you know who this amazing human is. Nancy and Enrique are who introduced me to this incredible business. They are friends of ours who we love and trust. It's because of them that all of us are here. So Enrique, if you want to touch on this subject and anything that's on your heart to share, please do. Go for it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Melissa. Your team is absolutely on fire. You're a tremendous leader. Thanks for having me on. Just let's rewind a little bit. What Melissa said, that's coming, guys. It's about to blow your mind. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say either, but just be prepared. We'll touch more on it Thursday morning as we get more and more permission to speak freely about it. So make sure you're on Thursday morning's coffee chat, and we will be dropping some bombs on there. So back to the topic of storytelling. So I'll tell you, when Nancy and I, you know, came into the business, like we knew we wanted to go all the way to the top. Like that was on our goals, you know, on our vision board. We wanted to go to the top of the company. We've never gone to the top of any company. So we didn't know how that was going to happen. We just knew it was the right company, the right product with the right people. And we, you know, Melissa always says, be bold, right? And that's exactly what we were doing from day one. We were out there proclaiming that we were going to do big things here. And we postured up. We had no idea how we were going to do it. But we just knew that it was going to happen because we believed. We had seen other people's stories. We had seen other people's results. So we figured if we just came in and did what they did and worked hard, we could get there as well, with massive action behind that, right? Not just wishing and praying and doing anything, but actually putting the work in. So I told Nancy, hey, we have to create a story so big that people can't take their eyes off of us. And that means people will always like be checking in on what we're doing, right? So right from day one, we started creating a story. I don't care how small the story is, you have a story. Hey, I'm so excited. I just joined this new opportunity and I got my first 3 customers and I helped 3 people feel better, have more focus, have more energy. One of them even lost 5 pounds in the first week. Like that's the scale of the story that I was sharing in the beginning, because we didn't have a story. So I would just share what we had. You know, I think our first month we got 20 customers or something like that. 2025, I shared, oh my goodness, never in our, you know, network marketing career have we ever had 25 customers total in any business. And here we are in month one, we got 25 customers, and we're helping them, we're helping them with this amazing product. Like, that was our month one story. We didn't have an income story. We didn't have this grand story that we made it to the top rank in 1 month. It was just very little, right? I think that first month, I don't know, I think we hit silver. I'm not even sure. I think silver was the first month. I can't remember. But hey, that was like something big for us. $5,000 in sales. I was acting like we were Triple Crowns. I was like, oh my goodness, 1 month in, $5,000 worth of sales. We've never been able to do that in our first month in any company. So this is a big deal. Like, we were celebrating like every single victory. Like, it was like we were at the top of the mountain. And, we were really excited. And I know it probably didn't mean anything to other like big leaders or anything, but it meant a lot to us. And we were proud of it. So we weren't holding back. We were out there sharing every single little bit of that story. And every time we added on to the next month, hey, the next month, maybe we hit gold or whatever. I was shouting, oh my goodness, we got gold. We helped, 3 people on our team hit bronze, whatever it was. We just kept sharing every step by step until now. And if you still look at what I do, I still do it to this day. I haven't stopped that, doing that at all. Today in my stories, I said, hey, I'm road tripping back to Austin. How blessed am I that, I'm able to work, that my at home or at work from home business allows me and gives me the time to travel back and forth, to see my son and do whatever I need to do. Like, every single bit of my story, I'm still sharing, because there's people out there that are going to relate to wherever you are or whatever your past story was. And they're going to make a connection with you, and they're going to start reaching out, clicking on your poll, asking how you did it. Hey, what is this business about? Hey, what is your product about? And that's what we kept doing from day one. And it's really paid off until this point. So don't be afraid to share even if it's a little tiny little story, don't be afraid to share it, because everyone starts somewhere. We all started at ground zero with 0 points, 0 rank, 0 anything. And we slowly had to build it up and get it to where it is today. So I'm happy to answer any questions. That's all I had, unless you wanted me to touch on something else, Melissa.
I love that, Enrique. That's exactly it. Do you want to talk a little bit about the importance of continuing this story? And like, something that you've been super strong about is like, sure, like you've always updated your network on the process, like no matter where it was at. And like, I know for me personally, like you've really pushed me out of my comfort zone with that, because initially I didn't have a lot of customers. I didn't have a lot of people to talk about. But you're like, no. Why it matters is you want to take your network alongside you on this journey. Do you want to touch a little bit about the importance of that?
Yeah, because like, people they might be watching you, right? And you join this business and it's MLM, and people have their opinions about MLMs or whatnot, and they know you, they know where you're starting, right? And then like you're telling a story. It's like a book, right? Each page is a new chapter, and they're watching you, and they're watching you climb through the ranks. They're watching your income go up. They're watching you make an impact, not only in your life, but all the people that you're helping. And then now they're seeing you helping others build a business, and you're impacting them on the business side as well. And they're watching this, 3 months in, 6 months in, 9 months in, 12 months in. And then those people, however long it takes them, it's going to hit them one day where they're going to be like, wow, I've watched, this person start here, and they've completely transformed their life in a year or 2 years. That's unbelievable. Now they start having thoughts about, what if I could do that? Or, what if I would have started back then? Oh my goodness, I was making fun of that person, and like, look at where they're at now. And I've had people tell me that, oh, I laughed at you. Listen, I've had people say that when I saw you join the coffee, I kind of had to laugh and say, that's such a gimmick. It'll never work. Blah, 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 blah. Almost 2 years later, now we're on month 21. They've said, man, I wish I would have joined you when you reached out to me, or when I first, saw that you joined the business. So trust me, people are watching no matter what. And you never know what part of your story is going to inspire them. It could be a financial story, could be a health story, whatever it is, and I always remind people where I'm at. Like, it's crazy because memories is one of my favorite things to do to tell my story, because like a year ago, or pretty close to a year ago, my stories, a little thing came up where, like, the car that I was driving a year ago, I was out with my son at dinner. We went to get back in the car. I pulled the handle off the car, and the actual handle was in my hand. Like, it broke off the car. And I'm just like, I snapped a picture of it and I sent it to Nancy, and I said, man, like, I need to get a new car, like ASAP. This car is falling apart, right? And then that pops up in your memories. And then I'm like, perfect time to share that. Hey guys, a year ago, this is what happened to me. And now a year later, through this business, I was able to buy the vehicle of my dreams, the vehicle that I've always wanted, right? So, like, how many people out there are in that same situation that, hey, they're having a tough time financially, their car is breaking down or whatever is breaking down, and they're looking for a way to make some extra income, maybe to repair their car or save for a new car, or it could be a home. Their family's looking to find money for a down payment on a brand new home, right? And you talking about your story and showing what people are doing, and maybe it's somebody on your team, maybe you're sharing other people's stories as well, that could inspire them or connect with them and say, hey, I better ask about that business, because if they could do it and they've completely changed their life through this business, then I at least have to ask about it to see what it is, and to see if I can do it and if it's a fit for me. And you'll get tons of people reaching out. And if you're not continuously watching or putting your story out there, you could miss on those opportunities. Perfect example, the guy Nancy and I got on a Zoom with yesterday, and he enrolled without trying the product. He went off the referral of someone else that had been watching our story since we started. And he said, no, you got to go work with these guys. They know what they're doing. They can actually help you. We didn't know who Bob was, but he came referred. And for someone to give us that, like, referral means, like, wow, we're doing this, right? Like, we're actually going out there, we're telling our story, we're making an impact. And if people are sending people our way saying, you got to go join them because they have what you're looking for, that means a lot to us that other people are saying that. So keep going. You never know who's watching. It could be the most random people that you think would never reach out, but something in your story or something you shared connected with them. And then, next thing you know, they're joining your business, and you never know what they're going to do,
Thank you so much. That's so good. I feel like that's just something that you've taught me a lot about that consistency of taking people alongside with you in the journey. You guys, I felt like I needed a bigger story in order to share numbers and things like that. And he's who was like, nope, you got to start now. And what we've seen to be true is that when you share that little story, sure, maybe you share it and you feel a little shameful about it. You shouldn't, but real talk, like, I felt that at first. I was kind of like, oh, I think it should be bigger, but whatever, I'm going to cringe and share it anyways. But as you continuously share that, and those customers increase, and you start to have a team, and that stuff builds, what happens is you build trust in the system for the people who are watching. You build trust in your ability to help them succeed, because what people want most, oftentimes, if they've never done network marketing, or maybe if they failed at network marketing, which is probably a larger group of our networks, right? Chances are they just want to know that if they do something like this, they just want to know that they're aligning with strength. Okay. And what your storyline provides is strength, no matter how small it is, as long as they get to be a part of the progression. That is strength, that is trust, and that is really, really vital, and why we're encouraging to share your story. I was on a call with Laura Aguilar earlier, and she's like, I shared my numbers in my story, and I kind of, I didn't know how I felt about it at first. I only have 5 business partners, and, we've got 130 customers between all of us. And I'm like, I am so proud of you. That is exactly it. That is what it takes to help bring people alongside you in this journey. So another thing that I want to touch on, and then I'm going to pass it along to some other leaders who want to share. Another thing that I know that a lot of people battle in regards to sharing the successes that they've had, whether you have one customer, whether you have one teammate, whether you're killing it and going through the ranks, it doesn't matter, okay? A lot of times people struggle with, how do I say it and not feel like I'm bragging? I struggled with that. I mean, even now I'm like, how do I do this? I don't want to say it too much. I want to make sure that I'm sharing it in a way that remains humble. I'm sharing it in a way that remains grateful. You want to know how to overcome that? I'm about to give you a magic tip, okay? How you do it, 2 things. You approach it with a lot of gratitude, very genuine gratitude. I'm so thankful for this, right? And you can say it, whether you're saying it on social media, whether you're saying it in person, whether you're saying it in a phone call or something, okay? It all works the same. You approach it with pure gratitude. I'm so grateful for this, because this was what it was before, in walks coffee, and this is what it is now, okay? Now, the other side of that, the other magic piece I'm giving you, and this is probably the most important one, you edify others, okay? That is how you can deliver your journey and what's going on here without coming across as bragging. Because if that's in your head and it's holding you back from sharing your story, if you do it and you're edifying, I'm so grateful for the leadership who helped me get here. I'm so grateful for the team that has helped impact my family's life. I'm so grateful for every single one of my customers. You guys have helped my family. That right there takes all of that scary feeling of bragging or ickiness or whatever that is. It's out of the equation now, because you're grateful and you're edifying the people who helped get you to wherever you're at. Even if it's one customer, you're talking about your gratitude for that customer, okay? That is how you share the business side of this from a very humble, heartfelt, genuine place, is edifying and gratitude, okay? Those things are really important. Now, let's say you don't have a team yet. Obviously want to have a team, but you're trying to just share that your business is growing, even if it's just customers, right? How you do that is, yes, you're grateful, yes, you're edifying, but you're sharing that customer's story, okay? Let's say you check in and you're like, hey, how are you feeling? What do you like best about this? And they're like, oh my goodness, lost 3.5 pounds this week. I'm so much happier, blah, blah, blah. Ask them, do you mind if I take a screenshot of this and just hide your name and share this, right? You're providing social proof and you're edifying somebody else. It's going to help your network to understand what you have. Same thing. If you have a team, how you can flex and how you can show what's happening for you here. If you have a team, you celebrate their wins with your network. Okay, that's how you also can flex without being within reason that's not comfortable to you, right? You edify those people on your team who are winning. Let's say you don't have any of the above, none of the above, okay? You don't have the customers yet, you don't have a team yet, you share somebody else's story. Okay, a perfect example of that is Enrique's story. Let's say you have a friend who really needs a new vehicle. Maybe you don't have that story yet. Not a big deal. You share Enrique's story. You put a lot of these stories in your back pocket and you share them. Oh my goodness, you know what? My friend Enrique, he was actually just sharing his story on our call last night, and he was talking about the fact that when he went to open his door, the handle fell off. How crazy is that? That sucks, right? And you know what? It was his goal to change the outcome. And you know what? He drives an amazing vehicle that is safe and beautiful and amazing, the vehicle of his dreams now, because of this crazy coffee company. That is how you start to build your team, even if you don't have a story, you guys. It is so beautiful. on a call the other day, many of you probably caught this, but Judy said something that really just hit me right between the eyes, because sometimes I feel like, dang, I've shared my story so much. It's like so boring for people now. And that's so foolish, but I'm telling you that very transparently, you guys know, I keep it real. Sometimes that thought pops in my head, like, gosh, I gotta share, I feel like people are sick of it. No. And Enrique touched on this morning on Coffee Chat. Judy said, imagine if this story didn't happen for you. Whatever you've experienced here so far, whether it's the physical things, the benefits, mental, emotional, financial, any of it, imagine if that didn't happen, where would you be right now? I don't want to think about that. It wouldn't be good. I know that much. Now, realize how many people are still in that place and they need what we have. And what she said that really smacked me over the head, and I needed to hear it as a really powerful reminder, was there's somebody out there praying for what you have. There's somebody out there waiting to hear your story, your specific story, no matter where it is, no matter how small it is. Do not inflate your story, okay? I'm going to tell you from experience. I've done that in the past because it's really encouraged in other companies. It doesn't sit well. You lose the feeling of being genuine and you don't want to do it anymore. The story you have right now, whatever is true and real for you, that's the story you run with. That story is enough and it is powerful. And somebody out there needs your real, raw, transparent story. Not the fake one, not the hyped up one, that one, your real story, okay? Imagine, what if your story changes somebody's life in a big way? That is the best feeling in the world when you get those messages. Hey, this helped my family pay for groceries. Hey, this helped us tackle a bill. Hey, this helped us get a new vehicle. I mean, those stories are incredible, but you can't get those stories in your inbox until you are willing to boldly share your own, okay? Or boldly share somebody else's until you've got your own. So I do want to pass this along. I know Gabrielle just sent me a message that she wanted to share on this topic as well. So I don't know if you're able to, Gabby. But go for it, girlfriend.
I am. Hey, y'all. We were going to head out to dinner, but it's still 105 here, and outdoor dining just didn't sound right. So we're staying home and flying sushi in. But yeah, I wanted to kind of share on this topic too, because it's one thing that I think a lot of us struggle with. I vividly remember getting in Melissa's inbox when our team hit 100 customers cumulatively. And I was so excited about it. And she's like, share that. I'm like, no. I left this other company. We had a lot of customers. I'm not ready to share that yet. I'm not ready. It doesn't feel like enough. And she was just like, no, that's enough. Like, that's enough. Your story's enough. And I remember her saying the same thing. I felt the same way at the next rank. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, go share that. I'm like, no, it's still not enough. And she's like, do you know how many people in this industry never have a single customer? Like, not even one? I mean, celebrating one customer is a really big deal. Celebrate everything, share everything, because like Enrique said, like Melissa said, people want to go on that journey with you, and the memories are amazing. Like I had a memory come up a couple days ago, and I was like, I've been here 3.5 months and these things have happened. And at the time I remember thinking, this isn't enough to share. And I'm so freaking thankful that I did, because I went and commented back on that memory, and like, it popped it back up, and all those people who commented 3 months ago got to see it again. And here I am still, a year later, and we built something even bigger. So the story is incredible. People want to go on that journey with you, and your story is absolutely always enough, especially right now. There are so many people out there struggling where an extra, getting their happy coffee paid for, enough customers to have their happy coffee for free. I'm sure you guys have a lot of customers in your network that are like, oh my gosh, I would love to cover the cost of my coffee. Like, that sounds amazing. So if that's what it's doing for you, share that. If it covered, like I said, it's 105 here. We are cranking that AC like crazy people. Our bill is going to be a lot. It's a large home. And, sharing, maybe, you covered the AC bill and didn't have to worry about that. Or maybe you're going out to dinner a couple extra times, or maybe you're not worrying about the car payment, or you're getting a new car, like Enrique said. Whatever it is, those are ways to share, your income without saying the numbers, right? Because we're not doing that. We're not out there blasting exactly what we're making, but that's a way to share. And I'll tell you right now, as you progress up through the ranks, which you all will, because our system is fail proof, and if you're doing the things, it will happen. As you progress up through the ranks, sometimes your story gets a little less relatable, and people think that that's unattainable for them. So that's why I'm so grateful that I shared in the beginning, and that why Enrique shared in the beginning, and Melissa shared in the beginning, was because those first small goals, there's nothing small about it, but those first steps, those first achievements, they seem more attainable, to people, and they see that part of your story, and they think, oh, I could do that too. And then when you're, again, like Melissa said, edifying your team, edifying your customers, but also edifying the product and the system, saying to them, I put this in almost every post, y'all. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but you'll see in almost every single thing that I post, every single rank advancement, every single celebratory anything, I'm edifying the company, the leadership, the products, and the system, because people think those things are what I need. Those are the things that I can follow to be successful, and they're all there for me. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to be special or the influencer or whatever. So I think, like I said, in addition to what Melissa said, edifying, your team, your leadership, and the people, but the product and the system, because what we have really here is the most special, beautiful, magic equation. So those are just little bits of sharing. I think that, sharing what the income has done for you, and why you have been successful, or why your team has been successful, or why, your leadership has been successful, and why that's where you're going. So sorry, my house is crazy right now. I'm going to go back to celebrating my little 3-year-old, but I wanted to share those little bits with you guys, because I think that they're just little important parts of the equation. So thank you for letting me share, Melissa.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Georgie. Squeeze her for me. You guys, the coolest thing is, as you grow a team and as you get to be on calls like this, like I've gotten to watch Georgia, go from this little tot to now being a big bad 3-year-old tough chick, and she's amazing. And it's so sweet that I've gotten to kind of get to know her because of Zooms, and just like, Carly's little girl as well. She's a spitfire. I'm like, whew, if we get these little girls together one day, they're going to rule the world, and we all better watch out. They're feisty girls. Okay, so I wanted to touch on one more thing, and then I'm going to open it up for questions, and anybody else who wants to share some tips on this topic. We really want to empower you to share your story. We really want to empower you to know that if you've got that bigger goal, if you want to create a team, whatever it is for you, you can do that here. Okay, we've seen it over and over and over. So I hope that with these tips and tricks, and really just the belief that we have, I hope that you leave this call tonight feeling very empowered, inspired, and bolder with your ability to share your story. Something that we were taught when we first got started here was, as you're building your business, strive for 5 Ellapreneurs. Okay, that is what we were told. Strive for 5 runners in your business, and you will be able to go, further into those leadership ranks. And for me personally, that number felt like attainable, right? Ish. Because I felt like, okay, at least it's not some astronomical number. At least it's not 100, or at least it's not 50. 5 seems doable. Okay, I'm going to go for 5, right? And that is what we were taught. And so that was my goal. Okay, I want 5 people to join me in this beautiful business, and I'm going to help them and teach them whatever I know to be runners with me in this. And if I can get that 5, I know that this thing will take off, right? That is what they taught us. And you guys, here's the kicker. Again, full transparency. What you guys see of this amazing team is like, oh, Melissa's got some really great people on the team, and she's enrolled some rock stars and whatever, right? Because you guys are amazing. But what you don't see is there's actually quite a few people who've come in who don't do anything, who've given up on their goal, who gave up on their dream, who, don't plug in, who never really gave it an actual shot. Okay. And I want you to know that that exists, because I know that comparison is real, and it is the thief of joy and dreams and all the good things, right? So know that I still have that. I still have people who've, come into the business who don't do anything with it. But let me tell you right now, that didn't determine my story. Okay? And it shouldn't determine yours either. If that is true for you, see, Carly said the same thing. It happens. You know, if that is true for you and you're hung up on that and you're like, come on, work this business with me, it's amazing. No, you don't want to do that. It's okay. Love them where they're at. Keep trucking. Okay? And why you want to keep trucking is people have different timing. You know, I love Shanice's story. Y'all have heard it, but it's just such a cool story because she joined the business like a year ago, a little more than that at this point, you know, didn't really understand it, didn't really need it. And she kind of just like did a little bit and then kind of left it alone. And then guess what? Circumstances changed. And she was like, okay, I'm going to give this thing a go. And all of a sudden, Homegirl's platinum. Okay. Those people might be in your business, but you can't get caught up on them not moving and then let that be the story of your business because of their choices. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated with them. Love them where they're at. Still be a good friend. Check in on them. But that's not where your story stays. Okay? You keep on going. You keep sharing your story. Yay, Shanice. So I wanted to let you guys know, like, not everybody you enroll is going to be a part of that 5. Okay, it doesn't mean only enroll 5 people and you're gonna, you know, take off to the moon. That's not what I'm saying here. It would be nice if it was that simple, right? It's just not. It is simple to share our story. It is simple to share this system that we have, but it is going to require like, hey, I gotta just find the right people. And by sharing your story, they're going to come into your life with the grit and the positivity and gratitude. Okay. Side note, squirrel. What you want to attract into your business is who you need to be. I'm just going to lay that down right there. And I want everybody to just kind of soak it in a little bit. Because if you're harboring toxic energy, if you're harboring negativity, if you're harboring complaining, things like that, I'm just going to tell you right now, those people are going to come find you and hunt you down. And then you're going to be all upset that you've got, you know, these people that you're struggling with. Real talk, just sticking it out there. That is the truth. If you're working on those things and you're like, hey, I have gratitude, even if you don't feel it, you check yourself, you turn it into gratitude, you focus on positivity, you focus on overcoming. And if that is your energy, truly, and even if you're in the process of correcting that, fantastic. It doesn't matter. As long as you're heading in that direction, those are the people who are going to show up in your life. Okay? Who you are, you attract. And it's crazy because even who you are behind the scenes is who you attract. Ouch. Putting that one out there too, because it has been true. Okay? So I did want to touch on that, you know, be who you want to attract, like genuinely, truly be that. So I want to open it up. I see, Wendy, you have your hand up. So if you want to share or ask a question, go for it.
I'm just writing this down. Be who you want to attract. Okay, well, I'm high maintenance, so I got to work on that. Okay, so my question. In my beginning, Carmela was so wonderful and celebrated me, and I never put that celebration on my Facebook page. So I now have people who are ranking, and I did it in a story, but I didn't do it on my Facebook page. So I'm asking for a friend, but I'm also asking for me. Should that person, and I think she's on this call, put that rank with gratitude on her Facebook page? And should I put it on my Facebook page? Because I'm kind of starting over. Like I'm revamping everything. This is new beginning for me. I'm leaving my past behind and I'm moving forward. So I want to move forward better than how I was. I've never done this before, so like, you're so right about attracting who you are, because I was negative, alcoholic, drug addict, mean girl, and that's who I got. Except for now, like, I have good women with me now.
Isn't it crazy how that happens? It's like, oh man, it really, it's real. They find you. So be who you want to attract is real. Okay. Wendy, yeah, I say yes. Go ahead and celebrate it. Absolutely 100% yes. Get on there, be excited, be bold, share why you're proud of that person on your timeline. I wouldn't necessarily and this is just me, my 2 cents. I wouldn't go and just go put up their rank on the wall like that, because that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to the world who's watching. But what does mean a lot to the world who's watching is understanding how it's impacting them, right? So you could share, I'm so proud of so-and-so, and then share, hey, this is her first time and she's helping people feel happier. And, she achieved a milestone in this business that has allowed her to do XYZ. I'm so proud of her. Something like that. Yeah, celebrate it. Whatever comes to you and what feels right.
Okay, should I ask her first? Because I remember Carmela didn't ask me first, and I was kind of mad because I look so fat in that picture. And I know why she wanted, look at her laughing. I know why she wanted to put that picture on there, and it's because I was with a certain person. What? Oh, hi, Carmela.
Really me over here. That picture was beautiful. You're with the founder of the company, and she got so mad. She's like, I'm so fat in that picture. I'm like, good gravy, you went gold or whatever it was that we were celebrating. You're beautiful. And thin now, too, so.
Okay, so with that said, and I'm learning how to speak now, like y'all. I'm saying y'all, and with that said, never said those things before. Should I go ask my friend who ranked if it's okay with her?
I would, personally.
Okay.
So I usually ask the people that I'm celebrating, hey, I want to shout you out. I want to celebrate you. Can you send me a picture that you'd like me to use? Sometimes I have to pick on them a little bit. I'm like, hey, still waiting for that picture. I'm really excited to celebrate you. Come on. But yeah, I think it's not a bad idea to do that. You don't have to, but if you feel like you should, then go for it. Yeah. Tell her and explain why. That's what Nancy said. I love it.
Oh, she knows. She's on the call. I'm going to call her out right now. Shirley. Is it okay? You're on the spot now, girl.
Poor Shirley.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm here.
She wants to shout you out. Is that okay with you?
If she can do it with me not on camera.
We'll figure it out. I love it. I feel like we just did some sort of I don't know, Facebook timeline intervention or something. I don't know. That's awesome.
Thank you,
we're
Wendy.
excited.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Brian, you're up next, Mr. Carter.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
This is Mr. Jackman. Say hey. He's a little sleepy. So I just wanted to share, kind of going off what Enrique said, and I just had some big revelation during that talk that, I've been downplaying my story the whole time, right? Because I came in, I was one of those people that, probably different than most, that came in was from day one, I want to go straight to the top. I want to do all these things, blah, 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 because that's where I come from, right? Just volume and numbers and big and big. And, after a month, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be bigger. I thought I was going to do more and, whatever. And it hit me during that call that, since this is the team chat, I don't really think it's a big deal. I never tried to really build a business with Prove It, but I had been involved with that company for a year, talking about ketones all the time. In my stories, in my, never really selling it, but talking about it. And a year later, I had 2 customers, one of whom was my mom, right? And it hit me roughly 5-ish weeks in that we have 11 customers. And I don't have a big warm market, that's not my deal. I haven't ever done business with people I know in any of my businesses or anything like that. And it hit me that's a big story for somebody like you were talking about that most people never have a customer. They never make money, whatever. And I haven't really thought about that because I haven't had a ton of experience. And like, that's something that I need to share. And not only that, and I don't want to take a long time, but not only that, but of those customers, so many of whom that I don't even really know, they found me. Like, I'm getting awesome texts and messages and feedback. And it's like, if I downplay my story, I'm downplaying their story because I'm the only reason that they know that this exists. And that's something that I'm going to get better at because it's ridiculous.
Wow. Holy cow. That was such a mic drop moment, y'all. Like, if you downplay your story, you're downplaying theirs. Whoa. Brian, like, really right now, you just crushed it. Seriously. So big. Thank you so much for sharing that. Something I want to share about Brian is he's so full of gratitude and so dang positive no matter what. What's coming for you, Brian, is beautiful because that's your energy and it's coming. Like, it's undeniable. And I'm so excited for you. And that's exactly it. So how you would share that is exactly how you just shared it with us. Dude, in my former company, it took me a year to get 2 customers and one was my mama. And here we have 11. It hasn't been a whole long time. Like, that right there. You know how relatable that is to so many people? That's powerful.
Hey, I will say, my mom is also a customer of Happy Coffee and is having unbelievable results. So
that's amazing. That's a Facebook Live right there. Like, that whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love
Melissa,
that.
can I add something real quick?
Please.
Okay, so something I forgot to mention when I was talking about telling your story. Video is really key on stories because people can see you and feel what you're talking about, feel that you're being authentic and you're not BSing anyone. So, that, because just like Melissa had mentioned earlier, like, you want to tell your story, but you don't want to feel like you're bragging. And I really struggle with that too. I'm like, man, I don't know if I should be saying this or this or that, because it might sound like I'm trying to brag. But then I'm like, well, I'm just going to get on camera and I'm going to just share it, from my heart, and it's going to come out the right way. So by doing video, it really kind of bridges that, where it doesn't come off that way. Because if you're just writing it, sometimes it can come off like that. But if you're in front of the camera and you're just being raw and real, people will accept it in a much better way, is what I'm trying to say.
I love that. Thank you. That is a challenge, whether you're scared of video or not, to get out there and share your story and take Brian's nugget of, if you are downplaying your story, you're downplaying the story of the people who have trusted you and are seeing amazing things on this journey. Crazy, amazing mic drop moments right now, you guys. Mr. Joshua Quintero, please.
Hey, so Enrique kind of got me a little bit with his intro for today, and really what's resonating with me for the 4 months I've been here is just the simplicity of everything, and literally following their script that Gabby, yourself, Enrique, and Nancy, everyone's doing. I have zero experience in this business. I've never been part of network marketing. I'm just fortunate that I had the business chops from my 9 to 5, and had to take a moment and like add up the numbers. Went to my back office, and as you guys are talking, we've brought happiness to over 160 people on my team. I've got 16 partners in this business now. I just I had to take a moment and stop and smell the roses, and I'm gonna do a post later on tonight where I literally went out front and took a picture with a rose bush. I couldn't believe it, because it's just the simplicity of everything that is taught to us is just it's winning, and I cannot believe that I felt moved enough by one of Gabby's posts to, be bold, so to speak, and join without having the product, much like, I think Bob was the gentleman's name this morning shared. And what it's done for myself and for my family. I mean, this past month, I shared with Gabby, and I may have shared in a text thread, but July's check, it paid our mortgage. And California, San Francisco Bay Area, that ain't cheap. So just so grateful for everyone and their continued support, sideline, upline, downline, everything all around the tribe that's here. And just felt the need. My heart spoke, said it needed to raise my hand, so I did, and just wanted to talk about gratitude, share a moment of thanks for everyone here.
Oh, I appreciate you sharing that so much, Josh. Your story is absolutely incredible. Your heart is like so good, such a good guy. And we appreciate everything that you pour into other people. And I do have a question for you, because I know that it's just going to be really valuable for people to hear, what actions are you taking? Like, what are you doing to build your team? How do those 16 people decide to join you in business? What do those actions look like for you?
It's been built through honesty. That's, the first rule: enjoy coffee, don't be weird. And that's what it's been for me. These people have been part of my journey for, decades now. And just sharing with them, like, this stuff's the real deal. Like, look what it's done to me. Look what it's done for our family, how it's just changed outlooks of people that I love and care about, very happy-go-lucky for, my 40 years I've been on this earth. And it kind of took things for granted a little bit. Our second child came around. My wife had a very scary birth process with our daughter. I almost lost her. And with that, it was kind of that era of holy smoke, she's here, I don't know what's going on. Like, there's just a lot of mental blocks that were in place that inhibited me from enjoying my bride and enjoying the life that we had created. And this product has, like I said, lifted the fog. The haze is gone. I mean, we dance in the kitchen again, we laugh, it's like we're dating all over again. And it's brought her back to me, and it's been fantastic.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Your story is amazing. I value your transparency. I value your vulnerability so much, and I know that everybody here does too. We appreciate that. And so thank you for sharing. Gabby, I see that you have your hand up.
I think there's something in my eye after that, Josh. So thank you for sharing. So friggin' awesome. And honestly, like, I mean, those of you guys who don't know Josh, like, that's why he's, building what he's building. The raw, we say it all the time, right? I feel like we sound like broken records, but it really is that rawness, that authenticity, and that transparency that pulls people in, that brings them to you, that makes them feel vulnerable enough to ask you about what these products are, right? If you share a little bit about what you're doing and how they've helped you through a time, they feel okay coming to you. So that's part of it. That's part of the beauty. What we have is a product that creates feelings. Garrett shared that. We have a product that creates a feeling, helps with a feeling. It's not always easy to share it, but those feelings are there. And if you get brave enough to share it, obviously people don't want to go down in the super dark with you. They want to be part of your redemption story. They want to see how it can help you in the way that it can possibly help them. But when you share that with rawness and realness and authenticity, it hits people, man. It gets them, and it makes them feel safe to reach out to you. So that's part of the reason why Josh has grown so quickly. Just amazing. But I wanted to kind of also piggyback on, I think Enrique said it, and Melissa, you kind of touched on it. And I know that Kara Contreras and I had a conversation, and by the way, y'all, she just did a really bold post. So whoop, whoop, so proud of you, Kara. But we talked about not wanting to feel braggy and, not posting the numbers and what it's done and saying these things, right? And I said to her on a call, I'm like, honestly, it's the same reason we tell people to like post selfies, right? We don't post selfies because we're vain and we want people to see our face and, you know, we're like, oh yay me, it's a photo of me. We post selfies because it stops the scroll and people actually read what we write, right? The goal is to help people. We can't help people if they don't read what we write. In the same way that people don't know what we have or what it can do for them or how it can change their life if we don't share what it's done for us. So if you can get the I'm posting this for my ego out of the equation and I'm posting it to share what's possible because someone else might need this, it really changes it. We talk about mindset all the time. And it's there's so many aspects to it. It's not just, you know, being the positive and being all the things. It's allowing your brain to make that shift of why I'm taking this action, why I'm doing this thing. And if you can see it truly as a gift and something that you're providing for other people to help them either, you know, come to the light, see the opportunity, help them with whatever it is that we have, whether that be product or opportunity, it really takes a lot of the fear out of it and the what will people think out of it, because you're like, I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for them. Someone needs this message, and if I don't share it, they're not going to know about it. That's how I feel about our products. There are people out there who need this, really, really, really need it. And if I don't share that, they're not going to know. There's people out there who really, really, really need this opportunity. And if I don't share it, they're not going to know. And if I'm just saying, it's simple, it's easy, I'm making an income, they're like, cool, Gabby. But if I'm saying how it's impacted my life, the changes that it's made for us financially, what it's allowed us to do, they can find themselves in that story. They can see themselves and they can relate to what you're saying. And again, they feel comfortable reaching out to you because maybe the gas bill is a pain point for them. Maybe the car payment is a pain point. Maybe, you know, whatever it is something that they need. So if you share it in that relatable, again, authentic, transparent, real way, it just hits people in the right way and it never comes across as braggy or boastful. So sorry, I got kind of rambly, but full circle.
Dang girl, you just dropped the mic on us. That was amazing. Thank you so much. You guys, there's a balance between being humble and being bold. I want to touch on this too, because I do feel like our culture is to be humble. Our culture is to just love on people. And, you know, it's beautiful what we have here, but don't play so far into that humility that you block somebody's blessing by not being bold. You know, saying it just in a slightly different way than Gabrielle just shared with us. But there is a balance to being humble and to being bold, but you don't want to block people's blessings by being too humble. It doesn't serve anybody here by you being too humble and keeping it to yourself. Okay. Carmela and Peter, you're up.
This has been wonderful tonight. Thank you so much. We love the Cocoa Chat. It's the best. So in brief, the truth is enough. I learned that from Melissa. Many of you have heard that. And if you are out there just telling the truth about your life here, that's all you got to do. The cool thing is we have a life here and it's very real. We don't have to make anything up, right? And if you're like us and from a generation or a culture where transparency to the public about your whole life is not the norm, right? You remember this conversation, Melissa, from like a year ago? We've learned to still be transparent in a tasteful way that's authentically us, right? So we don't need to make anything up. We have a hell of a story, enough to blow anybody's mind. We don't tell all of it at one time. We have to piece it out, okay? We don't want to have everybody run away from us. So be transparent, be authentically yourself. And lastly, with all of this, these amazing leaders on the call and everybody pouring into each other, there is a roadmap here, a system, an answer, a solution for everything and anything, right? Wendy would be the person to tell you that. We have had more hiccups and roadblocks and all kinds of things, and she has walked through beautifully every single one because we have an answer. We don't always have the answer, but Melissa does, Enrique does. You know, we can move through the team and say, help. So thank you all for your help in growing our beautiful business, our beautiful team. And we love you, Melissa. And we love you too, Enrique.
Whole team.
We really love you guys.
I love you guys so much. Y'all, they have an amazing story. They are not lying. Their story is crazy, crazy amazing. If you don't know it, like, I encourage you to just go start a message and ask. Like, I'm so serious. It's so beautiful. You guys, thank you so much for your time on this call. I appreciate everybody who stuck around to listen. I see the chat. I wish I could keep up with the chat. Everybody who contributed. What we have is special. I mean, the energy and the feeling of this call says it so well. You know, that feeling, it's really special. And when you know that, and you know it really is a safe and good place to invite people to, just go do it. You know, what we have changes lives, and it is a special, special place to be. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we love you guys so much. Please have a wonderful evening, and share this recording with anybody who has some hurdles to overcome, who wants to build a team, who wants to know how to share their story in order to build a team, or who just needs to feel this amazing culture that we have within this team. So we love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, guys. You can unmute if you'd like to.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Carmela,
Thank
Peter,
you.
Enrique.
Thank you, Melissa.
Hi,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thanks, guys.
Ready. Such a great call.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
Love it, guys.
Love you. Love you.
Hi, guys. Oh, the cute. Thank you.
Bye, Melissa.
I want to hug him.
Bye, Lisa. Bye, Lisa.
Bye, Hendrix. You're so handsome.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Can you give your mama a hug for me, please? Give her a big, huge squeeze. Oh, thank you. That was a really, really sweet hug.
Bye.
Bye, babies. Have a good night, guys. Oh, that was so sweet. Bye, guys.